Hi.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, oh, there we go. Oh, something's going on here? Hold on. Why? There we go. Okay. Welcome to the Kino Corner. We're talking about the very best in movies and news from a certain point of view. Pardon that technical interruption. My hotkey suddenly stopped working. Anywho, today, as you saw, we'll be talking about Don Bluth. Good old Donna Bluth, but I thought that would be all we're talking about. It'd be a very straightforward episode. But since then, we've had some stuff from Cinemacon, and quite frankly, most of the news and trailers we're talking about came from Cinemacon. Isn't that right, Mr. Gryphon?
That would appear to be the case.
Yes. There's a few other things here and there, some things that look good, some things that look not but all in all, it is just going to be talking serious about CinemaCon before we start talking about some of our favorite Don Bluth films. Now, excuse me, as always in the Kino corner, I'd like to start because most of the tone will vary from somber to angry to happy. I want to start with certain certain movie news right out the gate. We don't have a lot of movie news, most of it from CinemaCon, but the first thing that I would like to talk about, we did learn recently about the passing of wonderful actor Val Kilmer. Everyone knows him from something. When I was talking to my coworkers about it, most of them would cite either Top Gun, Tombstone, and one coworker said Batman because he's just a Batman fanboy, so I can't blame him there. I my go-to role for him is actually Mad Mardigan in Willow. What do you know him best
Oh,
as?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, like you said, Willow and Batman Forever. And I mean, I know him from Top Gun, but I've never actually seen Top Gun.
right.
In fact, to this day, I don't even know what Top Gun's even about. But that's,
Planes and homoerotic scenes involving volleyball, if I remember correctly.
it sounds about right, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but no, I know there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of people talking about, but one thing I want to draw attention to with the passing of Val Kilmer is how he died, because he died of pneumonia. He was he was 65 years old. He was up in his years. So things like pneumonia and the flu, those are just common things. He, now he already had a weakened immune system because he had throat cancer. For those who don't know, like why he couldn't really talk a whole lot and why he had cancer. Like there's no way to
Mhm.
sugarcoat it. However, technically speaking, and I hope I hope his family wears this as a badge of honor because since he died to pneumonia, technically speaking, in a somewhat morbid way, he beat cancer. Cancer fought him for decades, never took him.
That's one way to look at it.
I consider it good. Like he fought cancer for so long, and it wasn't until like he died surrounded by loved ones, and with just something that would have afflicted everyone else. Like he focused so hard on fighting cancer and living his best life. He died peacefully as could be. So,
That's the best anyone could probably hope for.
so even though he did die of pneumonia and he had such a wonderful film history, there's a silver lining to how he died and what he was able to accomplish and beat before he died. So, in memory of such a wonderful actor, we offer a moment of silence. Alrighty. Yeah. But in order, but we have to move on with
Actually, but
hmm,
before we do, I do want to say one thing.
of course.
I remembered I remembered one other thing he did, and now that I've remembered it, it's probably my favorite thing he's done. He was the voice of Moses in The Prince of Egypt.
He was, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
Damn. Hmm.
Anyway,
No, no, that's a good thing to remember. Yeah, I always think of his live action roles, but yeah. Uh, uh, well, but yeah, no. While this death does hit hard, let's just focus on the positives, what he was able to accomplish, and yeah, he will be missed. But
indeed.
to move on with the rest of the movie news, the first thing that is, while there's not a lot of news to it, what it could mean is more of the story here. So after the reception, uh, that's just we all know is negative. The negative reception of Snow White, Disney hit the panic button a little bit, and they basically paused production of their live action Tangled movie. So as of right now, the only live action Disney projects that are slated to come out, Lilo and Stitch, which is pretty much already done, and the live action Moana, which is already filmed a chunk of it. Because yeah, Snow White 2, not only did it receive critical backlash, but it was not a success at all. It hardly made its money back. And so Disney felt it. What do you think about that, Gryphon?
Unfortunate, but again, I still think that Lilo and Stitch is probably going to do fine enough. It's the Moana one that's really the deciding factor here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know the Tangled movie was happening.
Oh yeah, it started. It was going to be their next thing after Moana, and which yeah, it's same thing as live action Moana. I was like, isn't it too soon for that? But it's such a weird
I
idea to me.
mean,
But
I wouldn't know because I've never seen Tangled.
really, it's all right. Not the
Yeah.
best, but yeah.
Again, for those of you listening, go ahead and just take a shot whenever I say I've never seen insert popular movie here,
How
because that's
dare?
probably going to happen a lot.
I
I'll
have
get
a.
to it eventually. I
Oh,
just
you
have
will.
other priorities. Oh, and what are you going to do if I don't? Huh?
I'm gonna sip my Pepsi.
Then I guess I'll just sip my drink that's over on the other side of the room. Hold on.
Well, but like I said, not much here. I'm gonna try to lighting through some of these, especially when we get to the trailers, because CinemaCon's gonna take up a huge chunk of this. I do want to get to Don Bluth, but as
Yeah.
far as this news, the big news here, it just made me raise an eyebrow because like what this could mean. I know a lot of people particularly dislike Disney live action remakes. I don't have this visceral hatred for them, though I understand in a lot of these cases it is warranted. Um, but especially because Disney is, especially with what they are remaking, such a timing, man. But this could shake, like rock the boat, so to speak, with what could happen in the future. And what this could potentially mean later, time will tell. It's worth keeping an eye on, and it's probably going to be something to talk about after Lilo and Stitch. But yeah, to move on to the next bit of news. This was I thought was going to be the big news story of the week or of these 2 weeks. But this dropped right before CinemaCon.
Oh yeah, it did.
The teaser for it's technically a teaser, but it's what do you see other than just names? It's just what do you get from this other than what you can see off of just an Excel spreadsheet, realistically? But it is just the cast announcement and just production announcement for Avengers Doomsday. That it's in production. Things are People are filming. Everyone's gathered. Like everything's filming. So probably uh, the next 6 months is going to be initial shoots and edits, while the rest of the year is going to be post reshoots, post production, all in time for a release next year. Ideally, if anything's going to be pushed back, because we got a 2026 film slate, I'll talk about that later. If anything's going to be pushed back, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the one that'll be pushed back to a summer release. You know?
It's not unreasonable to think.
Yeah. Give them a little extra time, because. But all that out of the way, the news itself. Oh my lord! I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I take it that was the name you were most excited to
I
see.
was the most surprised by that name.
And, you know, generally just all the X-Men actors,
Yes,
especially Ian McKellen.
but as people pointed out, what is fascinating about this and why this does seem to point to like it really is going to be the Infinity that Doomsday to Secret War is very much going to be the Infinity War to Endgame. It's not about who's here, because that is awesome, because we do got a lot of modern Avengers, we do got the X-Men. It's who's not here that is raising a few eyebrows amongst people, and I'd say it's warranted. You have like,
Now, now, granted, we haven't seen all the names in the movie according to most people.
mhm, we haven't, but like, there's no mention of basically anybody in space, like the Guardians and Carol Danvers. There's no mention of Doctor Strange, Spider Man, or the street level Avengers. Moon Knight seems to be forgotten about, which I think is a fucking crime. Um, no mention of Blade, but then again, that's a whole other thing. No mention, even we got mention of Loki, so we know stuff like that's possible. But
Hmm.
it, uh, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see. I very much believe that the people in this lineup are going to be the main cast. The stories we're going to primarily follow and jump between. Like they're going to be in like 3 or 4 groups, and we're going to jump between them. You know,
Yeah.
like that. I believe. Like maybe it's just going to take place across different worlds. Now we're going to get a lot of context in the next few months for this teaser. Because one thing that I know a lot of people have joked about is that since all of the Thunderbolts are pretty much in this teaser, that there's no longer any need to worry about them in the Thunderbolts movie. I
Yeah, no, that's a load of bull.
Here's the thing. I half agree. I now understand that all of the names here, like Red Guardian and whatnot, they're going to live through the movie. So I'm no longer worried they're going to die, and I understand your frustration. But I'm still worried that something bad is going to happen. It's just not as I'm not as worried. I'm not as primed for deep drama as I otherwise would be. But I'm still here for whatever dangers they could face, and that's
I mean, yeah,
primarily because like the Thunderbolts in particular, well, actually particularly like Bucky Barnes and Red Guardian and what's Natasha's sister's name?
Yelena.
Yelena. their thing has never been just, oh, like our drama has to do with life or death situations. Theirs have always been more, I guess, personal.
Yeah,
So,
there.
so yeah,
Death isn't the only stake in the Marvel universe.
correct, and especially with them, like, heck, and all of this could just be a bait and switch. For, for all we know, this is a super bait and switch, and Robert Downey Jr. is just there teasing because all of the people on this slate are going to appear for like half the movie and then die.
Oh boy.
Which that would be a choice, but
Just not Scott. Please not Scott.
oh yeah, that's one thing that fans are pretty much saying is pretty much guaranteed, which I agree with, is Cyclops in a common accurate outfit similar to like Wolverine and Deadpool.
I mean, we we could have gotten them if Fox wasn't stupid.
What do you
I mean,
expect, Black Leather?
I mean, I know not everyone watched X-Men Apocalypse, but they still had the outfits at the end, and then never used them again.
Mm-hmm. This is true. Oh, I also am surprised that there's two names in here that I'm just like, they're going to be main players. Sure, I guess. One is the guy they have to play playing Falcon now. Because I saw Falcon
Uh,
and I saw Captain America: Brave New World. I liked it. Not it's not bad. Anyone who wants to say Captain America: Brave New World is bad can go after themselves. It's not bad. It's not the best thing Marvel ever produced, but it's totally fine. But I'm thinking of where the story is going, and I don't want to dog on this guy's character, but I'm just like, what you do seem like basically just the symbol that like Captain America and Falcon will go on, and like it's just going to become a legacy and just kind of reinforcing that. And even though we don't get to see more of him, we don't need to, you know?
I mean, maybe not as a main, but a supporter definitely.
Yeah, like as a supporter, that's why it's like I feel like these are going to be like supporting casts and groups, and he might not have a lot of lines, but so seeing him here is interesting. And the same thing for M'Baku from everything like from Wakanda, which oh my gosh, I want more M'Baku. I,
Yes, M. M'Baku is really the MVP of the Black Panther movies.
you bald-headed demon. Apparently, that line was ad libbed. You know that?
I I wouldn't doubt it.
That's why what's her face just as soon as he said it, just kind of went back like the fuck, because he just immediately bald-headed demon. It's like oh, and they just kept it in. Oh, I'm excited for this, obviously, but I I really want to see more of what they have to offer. I want to see how these characters will interact, and I'm probably not going to talk too much in detail about Doomsday until both I get time to sit on both Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. Which, if Disney and Marvel are smart, which I hope they are, they're not going to give us anything else from about Doomsday until the fall, when people have had time to watch Thunderbolts, to watch Fantastic Four, let them both get on Disney Plus, when Daredevil Born Again had its full run, and everything, and people can actually just digest all of the Marvel up to that point and properly prepare, you know?
Yes.
So I wouldn't be
I,
surprised if we get a teaser in like November or something.
I mean, they're usually pretty good at doing these types of movies, like with the build-ups to Infinity War and Endgame.
Hmm.
So I think they can do it well.
Yeah. To move on a little bit from that. Oh, where did I go? There it is.
Okay.
All right, now let's tackle the big dogs. Okay. So yeah,
Yay,
Cinemacon.
Cinemacon.
Cinemacon. Cinemacon. There's a lot,
The
and I
convention of cinema.
yeah. So a lot was revealed at Cinemacon. A lot of trailers, a lot of news, a lot of reveals for things. Um, a lot of things we didn't see. One thing we did see that I'm not including in the trailers, but I think it's a good way to just kind of start talking about, uh, is the Superman teaser, which isn't really a teaser. It's just kind of it's
More
just
of
a
a sneak peek.
it's a sneak peek. It's a clip. That one I probably could have just included in the trailers to talk about, but it felt more perfect to talk about here. But as far as the Superman stuff, actually, but before I get into talking about Superman, just to give further context on what CinemaCon is for those who don't know, it is not a convention for everyone to go and celebrate theaters so much. Well, even yes, as CinemaCon celebrating the movie going experience. On the consumer side, it's literally just a much lesser E3. But the whole point of the convention is it's more of a trade show. The whole point of this is for Hollywood directors and people who own theaters to get together and understand what movies are going to come out the next year and get some like sneak peeks and whatnot for the year ahead. This is basically a marketing shindig. Like this is around the time where we will get some movie news consistently every year, like a big little wave there. But that's what this is. The consumers are not first in the are not considered first for any of the news. That's why there is a lot of footage and a lot of like we did not people did not see. There's a lot of trailers that people did not see. There's a lot of announcements that we didn't hear until like the day after because that's just how it works. The first people to hear all this stuff are always like people who work with theaters or maybe some people who do streaming platforms. So they know, hey, next year, here's the stuff that's going to come out. Here's some marketing material for the stuff coming out the rest of this year. And here's some cool announcements. Do with that what you will. We're going to release this stuff to the public over the course of the next few days. That's what CinemaCon is. That's why the Superman stuff, it wasn't really a trailer as much as it's test footage. It was a teaser. It was basically like, here's what this scene's going to look like. And to touch on the Superman stuff in particular, I know it has some backlash because Superman is whinging in pain. Okay, which
Oh no, an actual villain who's a big threat is fighting Superman.
yeah, when why is our first question not like, God, Superman feels pain, man, he sucks as Superman? Why is that your first reaction and not, oh, somebody was able to break Superman's arm? What the fuck? Like,
I I I could say why that is, but I don't want to get a headache this early.
yeah, just it's all abridge it. People suck. And for those who are like, oh, but he's screaming in pain, yeah, they basically focus sunlight on him to make him heal faster, and he's screaming in pain because his Kryptonian bones are shifting and reforming inside of his body.
I mean, I don't care how yoked or tough you think you are. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's like because he doesn't have human bones, he has super bones. He has Kryptonian bones. It hurts him about as much as repositioning a bone hurts for you. And
Which I have thankfully never had to do.
right, no, many people outside of military experience have had to do, and for most people who've gone through that, it hurts like hell. So yeah, Superman. People were complaining about dumb stuff with the movie. It is so weird because everything else about it, I look at that little clip. I was like, this just looks like Golden Age Superman. This it's a little campy, a little silly, and also around this time, the time Superman came out. Apparently, it came out. James Gunn revealed this that he had a sort of an ultimatum for the actor who played Superman. Why it was a little hard to find the perfect one, and
Oh,
he basically he said that he demanded this, but he stands by he demanded it. And at first, I thought, oh god, he demanded something. What is this? But honestly, I agree with his demand. It's like if you're going to be Superman, you need to basically treat everybody on set as if you were Superman. You need to be kind, thoughtful, and forthcoming with everybody at all times. And James Gunn's reasoning for that is anybody who wants to portray Superman, they cannot be problematic on set. They cannot be problematic out of production. They have to adhere to the being Superman in every aspect of their life to properly sell the character. Like, you know what?
you
I agree with that. It just boils down to, all right, I'll let you be Superman, just don't be a dick. Which that's not
you
an
you can
unreasonable
be
ask.
Superman, but you got to act like Superman on and off camera.
Yeah, like whenever you're at home in your private time, he doesn't care. Whenever you're in public, whenever you're on set, and whenever you're being filmed, you're Superman. Until this movie comes out, you're Superman. Like, do I have to act like Superman? Not always. You can act like Clark Kent. Like, they're like, you know what? Cool. It's method acting, but to really portray Superman, I think that's one of the things that he kind of has to do, you know,
Yeah.
because the I know part of it does come from other actors getting uppity on set. I think of Christian Bale and Batman, but the intent was to avoid problematic actors getting a big ego on their superhero film because he was going to be the focus of this film. He's going to be the star, and if the, and they didn't want the actor playing Superman to have a big head because that would come through, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that ultimatum. Looking through a list of announcements because there is each day there was a different announcement, like a different like oh, a different set of things. Disney had a few things. There's a fun one. They did actually one of the last ones. They released a 2025 film slate. Disney did, which there's a 2026 film slate. That's going to be the last thing I talk about with Cinemacon. We'll get to that. But Disney confirmed the order of films coming out this year. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, which Zootopia 2, which apparently that was going to be interesting. So, how much have you seen Zootopia 2?
Get your drinks ready. Zero.
So all we have is a little bit of news and announcements. They revealed some teaser footage at CinemaCon, and reports show that there's a few things happening in Zootopia 2. First and foremost, Nick Wilde is continuing his career as a cop. He picks up just where the first one left off. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but the movie is several years old by now, so meh. But there's a word that I've seen floating around multiple times in descriptors of this teaser that I'm like, ooh, Disney, you are feeding that fire. That might be a mistake. That Judy and Nick are basically going through partners counseling because they're
Hmm.
cop partners. I'm like, that's not what people are going to take away from that.
No. No.
I don't care how much you try to convince me otherwise.
No.
It's like there is
Or them.
you are fanning those flames, Disney. Ooh, uh,
Ugh.
yeah,
People are messed up.
people are horny, but But yeah, everything else, there some of the stuff we do have trailers that we either have talked about or will talk about later. But Disney, they have Avatar: Fire and Ash. There was a
I'd
teaser.
love to see that.
Yeah, there was a teaser that was revealed at CinemaCon. Purportedly, we'll be getting that full trailer soon, or at least a
Good.
teaser probably soonish, because it does say to release this year, and filming is mostly done.
Better.
Uh, yeah, something called The Amateur, which I don't know much about that. Of course, Lilo and Stitch, Free Cure Friday, meh. Elio, which I kind of want to see. Tron Ares, which we'll be talking about later. And then this one is like, oh yeah, Disney has this now. Predator Badlands.
Yes. If isn't that the one done by the same guys who did Prey?
Yep. Which Prey
I'm
was
in.
awesome.
No question about it. I'm in. Excuse me.
All right, let's see if I can find. I'm gonna look up Cinemacon Paramount.
Wait, you don't want to talk about what Sony did?
I will. I will. I'm literally looking up each of the things to put on. Here we go. CinemaCon, Sony. Not Spumoni, Sony.
Bamoni.
While I'm pulling up Sony, uh, Paramount didn't have a lot, but they did drop a single trailer that I will be talking about in detail later. That was Naked Gun. But other than that, all Paramount really gave us was another teaser for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Awakening sequel-a-thon, or whatever the fuck this franchise is doing.
Woot.
And apparently another look at the upcoming Smurfs movie, which I'm sorry, it's like the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, didn't we literally just do this like 4 years ago?
Uh, I don't want to get smurfed.
Who else was that CinemaCon there? Ah, here we go. What did so? I swear I had everything pulled. There we go. CinemaCon. What worked and what didn't? There's a lot going on at CinemaCon. It's like every day. But I think Disney and Warner Brothers had the biggest uh showings. Like every day there was something. Every day there was something for a trailer. But Disney and Warner Brothers by far had like the biggest showings. Let's see here. CinemaCon, Warner Brothers, 2025. Oh, well, actually, I switched over to the film slate, but I'll keep it on there. Let's see.
Actually, I've got an article here. You want me to send you that one?
Please, because I'm having trouble finding something. And I pulled it up earlier. There we
Boop.
go. I think there's sort of, let's see, Final Destination. Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride reimagines Frankenstein.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah. Okay, look, I know there's a lot of like push to get certain things and redo certain things, but like if you want to redo Universal monsters, like I don't know, just for Bride of Frankenstein in particular, it always feels weird to start with it.
Yeah. Unless someone has like this really unparalleled, groundbreaking idea of how to do it. I just don't see how.
Well,
Would love to be wrong though.
here's the thing. I know it can be done, but it has to be in like a weird way because, like, think about Creature Commandos, for instance. That technically was only about the bride, and well, it was fine. Oh, that's not what I want. Let's see. Cinemacon recovering announced by Warner. There we go. I think I found the article that I had pulled up earlier. Let's see. I believe Minecraft movie got a confirmed sequel. Uh,
Naturally.
oh yeah, there was some test footage of Mortal Kombat 2, and apparently everyone's freaking out. Johnny Cage dropped the F bomb. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a snarky asshole. We've known this for 20 fucking years now.
Oh no, someone swore in a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, like that's not. Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since I've watched it, but weren't there one or two f bombs in the last movie?
Yes, there were. It's like,
So what are people complaining about?
hmm. Here's news that
Did
makes
they?
here's news that makes me a little annoyed. Well, no, it doesn't make me annoyed, but I'm concerned. There's going to be another Cat in the Hat movie.
What?
There is going to be another Cat in the Hat movie, which apparently there was test footage of. Bill Hader is going to be Cat in the Hat.
Who's making it?
Let's see here.
Like, well, give me a studio.
Oh, let me pull that up real quick. Bill Hader, Cat in the Hat. Warner Brothers. So here's the reason I'm just so confused and concerned by it. All accounts that looked at the teaser described the animation in a very particular way, and I am so confused. Like, where do these concepts meet exactly? It said, "Oh, it kind of looks like somewhere between that recent Garfield movie and Spider Verse." Like,
huh?
thank you. It's like what? No, those are not concepts that go together.
No, no, no. I mean, unless you're talking about animation styles, we can talk about that. But in terms of everything else, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Waiting.
Hold on. Is this actually from the movie or that's some AI shit? Okay, no, that's some AI shit. All right. Never mind. Well, like I said, there was a lot of things. Most everything else came from just like trailers and whatnot that was revealed. The other big news is they released a 2026 film slate. That is the slide that's on screen right now. But this has story behind it. So,
Gather round, everyone.
so here's the thing. Every year there is a film slate for the next year. Like last year there was a slate for this year that had a lot of the movies that we know are coming out. Um so we know, and we also know this is at least somewhat accurate because it contains movies that have already had trailers, have already had been announced, and we know from background stuff for the past few months they're being worked on, like Clayface, Shrek 5, Toy Story 5, Mario Brothers movie 2, Scream 7. So many fucking sequels. So there's two main factors that make people not believe this. Well, actually three. One is these film slates, these images aren't often revealed to the public. Not really often at all. And that's number one. Number two, this one was revealed to the public. Well, basically at the cusp of April Fool's Day. You can understand why some people weren't buying it.
Ye-
But
or one of those at least.
yeah, as, and the other thing is Moana 3. Moana 3 is, as far as I am aware, the only film on this entire list not officially confirmed. Because in the days since this was revealed at Cinemacon, there has been test footage for Masters of the Universe. There has been test footage for Toy Story 5, from what I understand. There's been official confirmation of Mega Minions. There's been official confirmation of Fast X Part 2, which, God, defeats the whole fucking purpose to me. There has been official confirmation and possibly test footage of Mandalorian and Grogu. These
Yay.
things are happening. Moana 3 hasn't been confirmed by Disney. um it's everything is kind of habit about it, and
Yep, that's what I'm seeing so far.
yeah,
Quick Google search.
everything seems to point to one of two things is going on. One, this was not supposed to be revealed until Disney announced Moana 3, and considering the recent news about Tangled, they may have been holding off that announcement. Option two is this is not actually a reference to Moana 3 at all, that this is actually a mistake, and they were talking about the live action Moana, which is in production right now, which I think makes more sense. Which means, to some degree, this could have been in error. And if that's the case, Disney going to sue somebody.
Womp womp.
So there is just some built-in discrepancies in this that we know of. We don't. There's a lot of details that, but the fact is, a lot of the things on this list, quite frankly, most of the things on this list were hard confirmed. Like, either we have something, or it's something that was officially revealed at CinemaCon, even though we don't see the teasers for. So, as of right now, barring Moana 3, the movies on this list are shooting for release in 2026. That means Avengers Doomsday, some new Pixar movie called Hoppers, the new Spider-Man movie, uh, a new Scream, a Masters of the Universe, which got test footage, a new Street Fighter something, which, wow, okay. Mega Minions, because I know how much Gryphon loves Minions.
You'll
Mandalorian
never
and
find your body.
Mandalorian and Grogu, Jumanji 3, which apparently got news. So there's like potential that one of the main four actors might not come back.
Oh wow, another Jumanji movie.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like there's a long list of things, like, and um, but yeah, most of it we know. So whenever you see this list around, the takeaway should be most of these are true. Moana 3 is skeptical, and the one consistent thing that I want everyone to take away from this does not confirm release dates. This does not confirm official, like, by the day, by the month release dates. It is still possible, and it hasn't been historically done where, like, things get pushed back, like pushed back. Like, I would not be surprised, for instance, if, yeah, Avengers is first on the list, but I would not be surprised if suddenly we get all right, now Avengers is going to be going for a summer release. We got to have the extra time to polish it. I would not be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of these is like the Hail Mary movie or something is being pushed to like January to match Oscar season or whatever. But who knows? Like, this is just that batch of movies coming out at some point next year. And the reason theaters in them get this is, as I said before, this is for marketing. This is for sending for like, so say somebody from your local uh AMC or whatever goes over to this place, maybe some few regional managers are all like, "Hey, here's the movies that are coming out 2026. Relay this to your district so they know how to properly plan for what movies coming out ahead of time so they can make a merchandising plan." That's literally what this is for. Like, I work in an arcade industry normally. We have something similar to this called IAPA. It's a public show, but the primary focus of the public show is not for people to go in there and play arcade games. It is for business leads to just have meetings and know what games are down the pipeline, what games are being revealed, and make sales. So yes,
Money.
this is not a fan focused event. It's open to fans, but it's not a fan focused event. That's why like we're seeing stuff that people think, oh, this has to be fake. No, what we're seeing, from what we could tell, most of this image, most of the film slate is real. It's just unfortunately this one there is a few notable discrepancies and asterisks that are kind of making it seem fake. Like, we know Avengers Doomsday is coming out. We know Hoppers is coming out. We Spider-Man got an official title like shortly after this reveal, so we know that's coming out. There was test footage for Master of the Universe, so we know that's coming out. We've known Scream 7 was happening, I think, for months if you follow the horror scene. Uh, and most of the stuff on this list is just not surprising because, I mean,
Yeah.
so take some of these things with a grain of salt, but understand these are movies that unless something drastic happens in the next year, are coming out next year. At some point next year, these films are coming out. While they could be pushed back to like the end of next year, or in a drastic case 2027, these films are coming out. So with that being said, and I'm sorry I kind of took the reins on that, Gryphon. Like, I after I saw the film slate and all the backlash behind it, I felt it was necessary to like kind of say my piece and be clear about
Mm.
what this is.
Oh no, how dare you take the reins on your podcast?
I know, right? But no. To move on from that, we guess we can talk about some of the trailers that were revealed at at Cinemacon. Talk about some trailers, yay! Anyway, but
Yay.
I guess
I know.
the first one I want to talk about is probably the last one I saw. Tron Ares. Shoot, as someone who I liked the original Tron, didn't love it. I liked the remake more. I didn't quite love it, but it was a little. I think I, looking back, I think I did like that remake more. It's
Remake. You talking about Legacy?
or yeah, not a remake. It's basically a pseudo sequel, isn't it? Yeah, I liked Tron Legacy a little bit more than Tron, and I think it's just because I could relate to that stuff more, you know, because it had more modern technology.
Hmm.
Um,
And
when I saw Tron Ares, the trailer for this, my brain did a dumb and realized like, oh, how did I not put this together? That at some point there would be a virtual reality worlds collide kind of thing with how technology focused we are, and what that would actually look like. And I thought, what would that look like? Then I saw in the trailer one of the ships from Tron just in the real world, like, oh, we're all gonna die.
oh shit.
Oh, that's what happens. We're all gonna die. I understand now. We're all gonna be de-resed. This is a horror film.
Game over, man. Game over.
Uh, so knowing that, and I know this film just has a little bit of like, oh, this could be dumb because it has a what's his face? He played Morbius. Jared
Jared
Jared Leto.
Leto.
Yeah, Jared Leto. He's in this trailer. Look, okay, I know people don't like Jared Leto. I get it. He's not the best actor. I think he did okay in Morbius, but that wasn't because he was a phenomenal actor. I really think that was a case of a D plus student actually trying and pulling out a B minus performance. That's what he was doing. Yeah, that's what it
That sounds
was.
about right.
Like that's what it was in Morbius, and what I hope he took that lesson to heart, and he's going to give his B- performance here because it seems like he's not the main actor. So we'll see what's happening with Tron Ares. Uh, boy, what do you think about this trailer?
Honestly, I wouldn't go so far as to say I hate the Tron movies. I just don't really have much of a special connection to them. I enjoyed most of what I saw, but they never really stuck with me.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for those that wanted another Tron movie, and I hope that they get to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I wanted another Tron movie. I think Tron is more it sells you on the idea more so than the movie itself. You know,
Yeah.
and I realize they're probably. I'm looking at the time. I'm thinking, oh, it might be an ad break right now. Like I should turn on certain thing.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. Linger on this for a second. But with but like when you think Tron, even if you haven't seen the movie, there's like key things that even like everybody knows, like the light cycles, for instance. I think that's the big one.
Right.
And
Or Jeff Bridges.
yeah, Jeff Bridges and light cycles, and of course everything looking all blue and red and glowy. Like that's those that imagery is just intertwined with Tron, like as a whole. So even if you don't know the movie, yep, all right, pardon the ding, but basically with Tron, uh, it's there are super fans of it, but as a franchise, I do believe it is kind of how can this relate to how we view technology in the modern day? And just how can we take these ideas? Because that's what the original movie was supposed to represent. It's literally just just like a there's a world inside your computer. That's literally it.
Why not? It worked in Digimon.
Yeah, right. That's a crossover I am both surprised by, but at the same time makes perfect sense why it's never happened. Tron and Digimon. It's like, why haven't Tron and Digimon against single? Because there's no, it doesn't matter how fast you go in that light cycle, Apocalymon's gonna wreck your shit.
uh, also, separate companies' rights issues are a headache.
That's true. Yeah. No. I'm excited for
Just ask
this,
Kong.
and yeah, I'm excited for this, and just the scene where basically the cops were chasing the light cycle. They turn on the light cycle and just chop the car in half with just a beam. I was like, I was like,
Oh,
oh,
oh no.
oh, we're doing this. Everyone's going to die. Yay! But no, uh, I suppose we go on to the next trailer. There's one I'm not. Megan Mithrigan 2.0.
As soon as I heard the music in this trailer, I was like, they're not. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. They are.
Okay, so this trailer did successfully do one thing for me. Make me I don't want to see it. I'm not going to go out of my way. I am now more open to seeing Megan. But I'm still not going to go out of my way to watch it cuz full disclosure when I was talking about stuff I with the Super Bowl trailer, there was a Megan 2.0 teaser that I didn't want to talk about because it didn't give a lot. But also there's two horror franchises that are I would consider modern that generally make me uncomfortable. Uh, one of them, to a much lesser extent, is Megan, and the other one I'll explain it first before I get into why Megan makes me a little uncomfortable. Is the other one is called Orphan. Do you know? Have you seen the stuff for that movie Orphan?
I have not.
So Orphan is a movie basically that people go to this adoption agency. I'm going to spoil Orphan. So just put a little timestamp here. I'll probably put it in the description. I'm about to spoil Orphan for those who haven't seen it, but again, it's been a few years. Basically, these people adopt a new child. The child proves to be troublesome. They slowly find out that it's not a child; it is a full-grown woman with this dwarfism. Well, not really dwarf. That's not really dwarfism. I can't remember what the fuck she has. Uh, but even though she looks like a kid, she is literally like in her 30s or 40s, and she has this mental disorder where she just wants to be loved and she wants to be like treated as a kid, but also she has these womanly needs. So, but here's the thing. In the movie, this character is still portrayed by this 12-year-old. So there is a scene when everything comes to its climax at the end after the girl has killed some people where the girl tries to seduce the dad. So there is literally a scene where there is a 12-year-old girl in lipstick and lingerie and revealing clothing trying to seduce a 40-year-old man. Like, no, I knowing
I,
that's in the movie, I am uncomfortable. I do not want to watch anything to do with this franchise. Like,
I feel like I need a bleach shower right now.
yeah. So, so when I saw the trailer for Megan and I see the scene of her going down the hallway doing the TikTok dance and just kind of gyrating her hips, I'm just like, I that's evoking the same feelings. I don't like this imagery. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I see how you feel that way.
However, seeing the trailer for Megan 2.0, which spoilers for over and over, it made me more open to okay. So this is less about sexualization and whatnot. This is just cringy robo murder spree. I am now more open to watching Megan, but I'm still not going to go out of my way to watch it. You know?
Yeah, and with how ridiculous this trailer already is, makes you wonder how long before M3 gun goes
Oh,
into space.
oh yeah. No, they have already screwed themselves with the titles because they already used the 3 for the E. Like, what are they going to call Megan 3.0? They've already kind of ruined it. They're just going to call it. They can't call it Megan again because they've already even in the first one they just used the 3 for the E.
Megan Beyond Thunderdome.
It's probably going to be like something stupid like Megan 2.1 or something. I don't know. It just apparently people really like these movies. I if you
Okay.
okay, yeah, no, if you like it, more power to you. I don't know. Well, what did you get from watching this trailer?
This is ridiculous.
You're right.
I I have very little to say. If people invite me to come watch it with them, I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I mean, I can't blame them either because there is some modern horror that is like I'll always remember just how much Malignant just screwed me up. Like, oh my god, that movie was awesome.
And I don't know if I've told you this before, but when when we pretty much decided one night to just go see Dune 2, I hadn't seen the first Dune,
How dare you?
but I still went because it's like, okay, these guys want to see the movie. I just want to go and have this experience with them.
But how will you know all the lore so you can understand Muad'Dib? He's an Agaib.
Um, you do know there's this thing that exists called Google, right?
He knows how to use Google. He's an Agaib.
Silence!
Well,
Yes, audience, we are nerds. Thank you for noticing.
I guess moving on from that, I guess yeah, another two because we're in the age of sequels. FNAF 2. Hor, 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 hor,
They're out there,
hor.
Mike. They're everywhere. They're making TikTok dances in front of all the abandoned establishments they can find.
Dude, if I see Freddy Fazbear flossing in this movie, which is indeed a possibility, Okay, okay, look. I watched the first one because I did, even though I didn't really play the games past the first one, I did keep up with the lore because I did find the story behind that lore very interesting and just the atmosphere around the game on the internet very interesting. So when I watched the first one, it wasn't the objectively speaking, it was a pretty dumb movie. However, it was better than you'd think it would be. I hold that Five Nights at Freddy's, the first one, was all right and absolutely warranted a sequel. Uh,
it it is a perfectly okay horror movie.
yeah, and if and you think, and I know you think that because you didn't watch Five Nights at Freddy's, but I can assure you, the fact that Matt Pat was in the fucking movie just
Yeah, he was.
this movie, like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, was made for the younger audience. It was made for fans. It was made for film theorists. For gosh sake, one of the promotional things they did for this movie, which is brilliant, and I'm sure there's gonna be more things about it in channels released in spam this week. Now they've had time to look at it. But one of the things they did is they released 5 random pages of a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 script, randomly placed, like they're all like, here's page 160 of one, page 35 of one, whatnot. And basically they just like, all right, one of these pages is from the actual script. We're not going to tell you which. Go.
Place your bets, everybody.
Pretty much, and theorists went nuts. And I can imagine that after this teaser, there's going to be like a. I imagine film theory is going to have like a thing where they break down this teaser and fully like re-explore which of those scripts is 100% true. Because I think this does narrow it down to two, maybe. I kind of
In
followed that.
7 videos or less.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like. I don't know what this film is going to end up doing. I know Five Nights at Freddy's is now gone to the domain of it. It's just gonna. It's cemented itself in popular culture, so we're not gonna get rid of it anytime soon. I mean, there's gonna be more Five Nights at Freddy's games. There's a new one coming out. I think Halloween this year. Uh, but
Naturally.
this movie, I don't know if I might watch this one. Definitely not going to see it in theaters, but I might watch this one on streaming, or if like Kitty or Dr. Jones, if they get it like and watch as a group, I would definitely watch it with them. However, after this one, like the third one is going to be where it's a bit shaky for me. And even if this one's good, and it's mostly because these films seem to be made for a particular audience, and around FNAF 3, as far as that storyline, that's where I kind of dropped off a little bit and just kind of like left it with whatever was on game. There's like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's where I kind of dropped off of that fandom and my knowledge of it would end, you know? So I
Mhm.
wouldn't be able to appreciate it as much. So it's kind of like, do I want to do I want to see this one? Sure. Do I want to see it in theaters? Eh, if I have an extra movie pass, maybe. And if I have an extra movie pass and I'm going with the group and it doesn't cost me anything, yeah, maybe. But that's kind of how I feel about this.
Honestly, same.
Like these films, you can joke about them all you want, but
And I will.
yeah, it's a warranted joke. I mean, like five Freddy Fazbear hitting the Quiddy is just, you know how many times I've heard that on Katie's server, but
But hey, that's just a joke.
a bad show. No.
We had to do it.
Yeah. I have to wonder if Matt Pat's going to be, because also apparently Markiplier was supposed to cameo in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
And as okay, admittedly, Matt Pat showing up in the movie is distracting because okay, you can pretend he's a waiter all you want. It's still Matt Pat right
Oh
there.
yeah.
So imagine how Markiplier would have been.
So we know where Markiplier would have been too. That whole opening scene where the security guard died, that was supposed to be Markiplier.
Ah,
Yeah. So
I guess
there was a conflict there because he was filming another movie at the time and working on other projects, so he wanted to, but literally couldn't. So that's another thing that's probably going to happen. Wonder is Markiplier going to be in the FNAF 2 movie? It's one of those things where there's a non-0% chance.
Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see.
because as Markiplier himself would proclaim, he is the king of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Wait, I thought you were king of the squirrels.
He's king of all of those things.
All
Yeah.
right.
But I guess move on to the next trailer. And the joy continues. Naked Gun. I love this trailer.
You know, Liam Neeson seems like it's he's a too perfect choice to play the son of Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, he's perfect. And everyone said, can he do comedy? Anyone who's saying he can't do comedy has not watched Ted. His scene in Ted was one of the funniest parts of that fucking movie. Have you seen it?
Like I haven't watched Ted all the way, but I did see the Liam Neeson part.
He's a,
I was
like
led to believe that Lucky Charm, no, not Lucky Charms, but
tricks.
tricks are
Yes.
strictly for kids.
Yeah, that's what they say in the commercial. It's just
And the best thing about it is he wasn't trying to be funny. He was playing it 100% straight.
right, but that's what you need for these movies.
That's what I've noticed. Okay, probably gonna get mad at me. I've never seen a Naked Gun movie before,
Okay,
but this trailer makes me want to watch them.
have you? It is in the same vein as something like Hot Shots or Airplane or like
Which Leslie Nielsen was also in.
yeah, or Spy Hard or whatever. What was that? What was the other? He, it was like a Leslie Nielsen spy movie. I can't remember. I can't fuck.
I
But
want to say that was Spy Hard.
yeah, it's Weird Al did the thing,
Yeah, he did.
but it is the same kind of comedy, and that's what I love in the trailer. Is this like I went into this thinking Leslie Nielsen Naked Gun? Oh, this could be stupid. Then I watched the trailer. It won me over so fast. As soon as I saw Leslie Nielsen's or Liam Neeson's face on a little girl's body going, your ass, I'm like, okay. But what really sold me that told me like this movie is adhering to that same style of comedy told once. It's not that scene. It's not even the next scene. It's not the one where Liam Neeson goes like, I'm gonna miss you, Dad, and he shows a picture of Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, the other guy going, yeah, I'm really gonna miss you, Dad. Shows his coworker. It's when they zoom out and there's just a hallway full of people just doing an "I'm gonna miss you, Dad." Like this is what's missing. Like I think the first two scary movies do fine, but if they want to redo that type of humor, they need more stuff like this. Let absurd stuff just be. Like make this a world where absurd, stupid stuff like that just happens. Don't try to force the joke. And like that scene where you zoom out, you just see a row. That's the kind of thing. Like, what the fuck? That's the kind of like what these movies are supposed to be. And top it off with the O.J. Simpson just like ah, beautiful, beautiful trailer, beautiful.
That's cinema, Marty.
I am so here for Liam Neeson's Naked Gun. That's probably going to be a opening weekend going to see it for me.
Heck yeah.
You need to plan for that. I have to. When is that coming out? Do you know, good
No,
sir?
no, no, that's the original. August 1st.
August 1st. That's okay. This year. Yeah, you're right. All right, save your oh gosh. Right after Superman. The week
It's
after
going to be a busy month.
Oh no! I'm gonna have to use. Okay, okay, no, I'll figure something out. There's a
Yeah,
lot of movies going on in that whole month. A
I mean,
lot.
we we got time. We can figure this out.
We can figure this out. No, I'm so excited for this. Also, I didn't have Liam Neeson wearing polka dot panties on my bingo card for 2025.
What a thing to say and see.
Yeah. Gosh, this movie looks so good. Yeah. The last trailer, I believe it's yep, the last trailer I want to talk about Primitive War. Gonna be honest, saw a few hype for this trailer, and I saw like, all right, let's look at it up, see if it's worth talking about, and it is. So,
Well, there have been people saying that we need more dinosaur horror movies,
so
and doing a dinosaur horror movie in Vietnam seems like a great idea.
yes, about
This,
90% of this trailer looks legitimately good, legitimately scary. There's two scenes, one that just makes me roll my eyes, and then that's where it starts doing the taglines like "This ain't no walk in the park." It actually made me go, ugh.
yeah, I have stuff to say about that, but please continue.
But the other is, and I have this image here because when it got to the scene of the raptors, there's one on the left that moved its mouth in such a way that if you've seen those AI art videos where you have things that kind of like morphing around, like there's everywhere fucking Facebook video, and they have this weird, I guess artificial is a way of moving. Like the Raptor movies all had that very artificial feel to it. So like I just looked at this little scene, I was like, oh, and the AI art's in full force. I see. Okay, never mind. This. Oh man,
I mean, I'd have to look at it again, but I don't know.
it's just the one
I
on the
didn't
left.
notice that at first.
It's just the one on the left. It's again the rest look fine, and
Okay, yeah,
yeah, it's just that one on the left. It just has this weird way of moving that looks very, very artificial. It's hard to explain unless you see it, and they give. But you do know the videos that I'm referring to, where like it'll show like this AI image, and they try to move it, but it looks less like it's moving and more like they're just shifting the image with a moving tool or something, like a smudge tool.
yeah.
Yeah, so you know that weird way of moving. That one on the left had that weird way of moving for a bit. That kind of like caught
It's
my eye.
it's like that one video that tried to overlay scientifically accurate raptors over that scene from Jurassic Park,
Yeah,
and even then, they still weren't chicken sized.
yeah. Like other honestly, outside of that little grievance, like it generally looks fine. But what were you gonna say about the Jurassic Park stuff?
I was gonna say, I wish this movie had a different tagline that doesn't reference another movie, because we can have dinosaur movies that don't feel like they have to measure up to or reference, debatably, the greatest dinosaur movie ever made.
Yeah,
Just be your own thing.
yes. In their defense, well, to play devil's advocate here, the last dinosaur movie to do their own thing was it 65 or 65 BC or whatever the fuck it was called? But
Uh, I think it was just 65.
which I'm going to tell you right now, that movie was great. That movie was very underrated, but it didn't compare to itself to Jurassic Park, and it didn't perform well in theaters because people still are going to think, regardless whether you see it or not, it's a Jurassic Park knockoff because that's just how ingrained it is in society. I want us. I'm with you. I want us to get away from that, but there is a point where we have to realize that no matter what they do or say, people are going to compare it to Jurassic Park. So using that "not a walk in the park" tagline is very eye rolly. It's very cringy, but given where they are, the setting, and the main thing is Raptors and a T Rex. And like this one is pulling a more direct comparison than 65. So them having the cheeky little tagline just look, if you're gonna compare it anyway, I might as well just have a little fun with it. That's how I see it on this movie. Just to play devil's advocate, but that also largely does depend on the quality and tone of the movie on a whole, which it seems like it's going for straight horror, but we'll see.
And I kind of hope it does stick to that because I like this premise.
Yeah,
I like dinosaurs.
like dinosaurs. Since when?
Since I was born an entire autistic boy.
Tism. The tism. No.
Rawr!
Yeah, well, that's all I really have to say about this. It's like the AI thing that and maybe I'm the asshole. Maybe I saw something wrong and I'm just like seeing something that isn't there. But like some of the effects on this that raptor on the left look kind of off to me. And just you could
It's
tell,
okay. We'll fix it in post.
right? But I don't know. Like it is, and I hope I did see it wrong, or I hope it is not as bad as I saw it first, because everything before the trailer looks totally fine. Looks like a genuinely scary, kind of like tense survival horror movie with them floating to an area where dinosaurs are. Like, cool.
I, I am surprised that they are doing a Vietnam movie and resisting the urge to play CCR music.
Hmm. What's that?
For now, at least.
What's that one song that like that is just tied to Vietnam in general? Like something Sun,
Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son. Yeah,
Meow, 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 meow.
that's gonna be in the end credits.
I freaking dare them.
If this movie doesn't end with them like carrying a raptor via helicopter while Fortunate Son plays in the background to sequel bait us, then this movie didn't.
Or hell, just take a line from any CCR song, somehow find a way to tie dinosaurs into it, make that the tagline.
There's something happening here. Wait, no, that's not CCR. Is it? No, no, that's not CCR. But
Uh, neat. We'll figure something out later.
yeah, but I guess that's the last trailer I wanted to talk about because now it's time to talk about new and recent films, and I think there's only really one movie that I saw recently. Unfortunately, you saw it too.
Yep.
The Death of a Unicorn.
Go watch it, please.
I'm still find myself randomly thinking about how Paula Rudd cocked a tire iron like a shotgun. That one action set the tone for this movie. Just okay, all right. I no longer need to take anything in this movie seriously. You have successfully just
I, I am ready to enjoy the ride.
my body is ready. Show, show me unicorn murder. Like I don't want to go into too many spoilers about it, but Death of a Unicorn, if you like A24 films, which to me they're very hit or miss, but this one was very good. Also, I know there was a point during the trailer or during the movie where I think you heard me because you looked over. I was like, "Oh, please be a bicorn, please be a bicorn," because there's the one thing I know for unicorns and just those species, thanks to all the brain rot anime I watch, is there's unicorns, but there's also bicorns, which are basically the opposite of unicorns. Just as unicorns represent knowledge and purity, can only be ridden by pure souls. There's bicorns, which are basically the opposite. They can only be tamed by those who are as further away from pure as possible. Basically, that represent pure sin. At least that's one interpretation of them. But in this one, they go with the other interpretation, which is basically a bicorn is basically what happens when you corrupt slash piss off a unicorn.
Yep. There ain't no friendship is magic unicorns here, but monstrous aberrations of nature.
I'm gonna kill
And
it
they
with the.
gonna kill your ass.
I'm gonna kill it with the power of friendship. Also, my horn. My horn's a big part of that. And I won't spoil how everyone dies. I won't spoil who gets what. I won't spoil who lives. I won't spoil who dies. I won't spoil the ultimate resolution. But I will say there's at some point early in the movie there's some tapestries that become important. Pay close attention to the tapestries because there are some cool details in those tapestries that have more of a connection to the movie as a whole than you first realize. And they're the kind of things that go, you look at the tapestry and the story of the movie, like, oh, okay, so you're just telling us the plot of the movie that's about to happen. It's a little more than that. It's a little more detailed than that. And I really, really appreciate the movie for that. Yay.
So, in conclusion, why haven't you seen this movie yet? Go see it. It's great.
In conclusion, go buy a ticket. Like instead of going to see the Minecraft movie, go see a ticket. Go see the Unicorn. Buy a ticket for that. Which that's actually one thing I do want to mention briefly. I didn't see the Minecraft movie, but I've seen some news and stuff that happened in the Minecraft movie that I don't know how good or it is. I don't know how bad it's going to be. But credit where credit's due, I have to give props. Just like with Five Nights at Freddy's, they clearly knew who they were making this for. Because apparently there are scenes in the Minecraft movie where they do like popular Minecraft YouTubers make like a little cameo appearance. And apparently there is a story in the Minecraft YouTube world about someone named Technoblade, who is like the biggest Minecraft YouTuber who died of cancer. And there, at some point in the movie, there's like a pig with a crown who is basically Technoblade's avatar, and it's like, oh, is he king right here? No, he's a legend, and just like a nice little reference to Technoblade. And like, you know what? If the
I
if
like that.
yeah, if the movie is at least going to be just like it's just going to like reference those kind of people and be respectful about it, no matter how good or bad the movie turns out to be, I think the movie should props for at least that. Like no matter how cringy it is to hear Jack Black just go flint and steel, but we'll see. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie yet. I know people are on the hate train, but I don't know. I just see it as something that's good for thee, but maybe not for me, kind of thing.
Yeah, understandable.
Like honestly, I'm more
I certainly know very little about Minecraft. I'm not
honest.
going to go see it.
Oh yeah, no. If you don't know anything about Minecraft, I wouldn't. I have more of a vested interest in the Minecraft movie McDonald's meal. Honestly, like because
All right, looking it up.
well, no, 'cause I got a Minecraft movie McDonald's meal because I want the little soda potion. I figured, oh, you get a Big Mac, which is something I usually get at McDonald's anyway, and you get a little Minecraft figure with it. Cool, that's all it is. So I got the first one. It's a
Neat.
little French fry helmet, and I realized, oh, it comes with a code, so you can get this item in game. Which, yeah, a little cosmetic or a fry helmet.
Neat.
I was like, that's kind of nice. Later in the week, I was like, well, might as well. After my dentist appointment, I'll get another one. And I got the little zombie hamburger. I was like, well, not the one I wanted, but hey, you know what? Hey, why not? I got a hamburger skin. Because the only one I want is the soda potion. I didn't even know it was I guess like a little, I want the soda potion to sit on my desk. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like the only one I want. And it bugs me, which also, side note about that before we go to our main topic. Apparently, in every other fucking country, that has this meal, it's marked on the box which one is which, but for some reason in America, it's a gotcha.
Huh.
So it's completely random. So when I went to ask like, oh, is it random? Can I just say I just want this one? Because apparently not everyone really wants the soda potion. Everyone's after the fry helmet and the grimace egg. which I'm just like, it's fine. I just want the fry potion. Y'all can have those.
Well, I mean, that would have been useful to have when they did their Bionicle figures with the
Yeah,
Matoran.
yeah, but yeah, I had the yeah when they revealed that night for dinner, I got a thing. Bam, got a fry helmet. Thursday after my dentist appointment because I did not feel like doing anything. Got a McDonald's meal, got a hamburger, and then today I went because I was lazy and I didn't really want to cook while I was working on the podcast, and I got a second fry helmet.
Eh.
So now I have two fry helmets. So hey, if you want to trade for a fry helmet for a soda potion, I'll give you a French fries for a soda. But no, no, I guess credit for the Minecraft movie, but go see Death of a Unicorn. It's a very very fun movie. But that being said, I want to move over to the main topic. Don Bluth,
The legend.
the Disney animator. If you grew up in the 90s, if you grew up in the 80s, or hell, I'd say early 2000s, you know these Don Bluth movies, they made you feel things.
Yeah.
Like the go-tos are obviously Secret of Nim, American Tail, Land Before Time, and none of those movies you can understand his style. What are some of your favorites Don Bluth movies?
Well, I mean, the ones you just said, certified classics. And, well, I know there's some more. I mean, well, Anastasia's okay. Then, despite what anyone says, you will never get me to hate either Pebble the Penguin or Bartok the Magnificent.
No, but Pebble and the Penguin's awesome. Like in my Arc server, I named my penguin Hubie.
Good man. It it is it stupid? Does it not make a whole lot of sense? Yeah, I don't care. I love it.
Tim Curry's the villain. Pebble and the Penguin's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you ever want to hear what Tim Curry would sound like as a high school jock dude bro villain, watch Pebble and the Penguin. He does it almost too well. Don't make me laugh.
What's up, bro? I can't even do the voice he's doing in that. I think it's not my favorite Don Bluth film. I think my favorite is honestly Land Before Time. But there's one that I feel does get overlooked a lot, and that is a Rockadoodle.
Rockadoodle.
Rockadoodle. I think that one is free on YouTube. Here, I'm gonna look that up real quick. I believe where
If
it.
not, probably on Tubi.
Oh, for sure. I understand why it's not. Oh, actually, no. I understand why it's not everyone's. Okay, no, I understand why it's not everyone's favorite, but more people should watch it. Where to watch Rockadoodle? Rockadoodle. Rockadoo, what today? Yeah, it's on Tubi. You can get it with YouTube Premium. You can get it on Tubi. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a short movie. All things considered, hour 15 minutes, and you can. I'm sure it's one of those old kids movies that if you nitpick some stuff, it's you can find something dumb with it. But I just found it a super charming movie, and
That's
just the opening
they,
scene where like there's two scenes in particular that just I remember from this movie. I really love watching. One is just the beginning where they telling the story of Rockadoodle, and it just he has a little theme song. Rockadoo, what a day! The sun is shining bright today. Rockadoo. Right? It, he's basically the rooster on the farm. He has this job that he has to. he has to crow basically, or he has to cock-a-doodle do whatever they do have a word for. I can't fucking remember to make the sun come up. And one day he does it, but he fails, so it's eternal night. So the owls have taken over. So then the owls, because they're now more active, are basically eating all the little farm animals. So then it's up to our little hero to go to the city and get Rockadoodle back so he can actually like make the sun shine again and drive the owls away. That's it. But yeah, the second scene is when he gets his is it Crow? Did they ever just call us Crow? When he gets his crow back,
Yeah.
and there's this whole scene where he basically just emerges from the rock. It's like almost like superhero style, where you just hear this booming "Rockadoo," and he's just shooting up to the sky, like bringing up the sun by just singing and just shooting upwards. It's stupid. It's silly. God, I love it. Rockadoo today. I'm gonna have to watch it honestly.
Yeah. If you've never seen a Don Bluth movie, just get ready to see a lot of weird stuff.
Get ready to go
A
on
lot
a
of
feels trip. That's a guarantee with a Don Bluth movie. You are going to laugh. You are going to maybe find some things awkward, maybe find some things charming. But he's going to then make you cry.
uh-huh.
It, I mean, Land Before Time is the perfect example of this. There's so many charming moments. Oh, look at the kids. Oh, they're so happy. Oh my God, Littlefoot's mom. Oh my God, that T Rex.
That's right. Cry.
Enjoy your
But
happy ending. Now go crawl home to mommy.
but also look at the animation.
He is a pioneer of hand drawn style. There's a reason he
Featuring
yeah, there's a reason that he basically was a part of the Disney animation department for I think he headed it for a while.
hmm.
Let's see here. Yeah, no, he gained fame working for Walt Disney before he got like creating his own film studio in the 80s. So he started out working for Disney, then got his own film studio. He rose past Disney. He outgrew Disney. That's how good he is.
He decided he was gonna make his own animation with budget and hookers.
Like he didn't do a lot. Like he has like Anastasia. He did do a CG movie. Well, mostly CG. No, it's partially CG. It was hand drawn with Titan AE.
Oh right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God, he was an animator in Cool World. No, I see it. Thinking about it, I see it.
That that does make sense.
And it makes sense because before that he did, of course, talk about the game Dragon Slayer. But I do want to focus on his animated works because that what was on the thing that Chekarov picked last time. So,
Yes.
which would be his main? Yep, that's not what I want to click. Go back. Yeah. So yeah, Bartek the Magnificent, Pebble and the Penguin, Troll in Central Park, Thumbelina, which yeah, Anastasia, All Dogs Go to Heaven, which I believe should be mandatory viewing for anybody before they get a dog.
Mm.
I know. I am well aware.
Okay, so I have what might be considered a hot take here,
Hmm,
but I think All Dogs Go to Heaven is just kind of an okay film.
how dare you?
I mean, I feel like most people only talk about it because of the unfortunate real life incident that happened with one of its actors.
That's right.
And and the ending is legitimately heartwarming. I will give it that. But I should also point out that a lot of the Don Bluth movies that I loved, I saw as a kid and connect have this connection with them. I did not have the same connection with All Dogs Go to Heaven. I just recently watched it yesterday on Tubi.
Hmm.
So I guess you could say that's the reason I feel this way, but it's hard for me to say that if I would have felt that way about it as a kid as well,
How
because
dare you? No, it's fine. That's a totally fair take.
also weird, I don't remember crying at Littlefoot's mother. I was certainly sad, but I didn't like bawl my eyes out or lock myself in a closet like some kids reportedly did after the Transformers movie.
Hey, that was something different, man. Optimus Prime died. You weren't there. You wouldn't know.
You're right, I wasn't born in 1984.
You wouldn't understand. No, like
Anyway,
I think his most prominent films and the reason people tie these feelings of just like, oh, it's gonna make you cry. I think Before Time is one of them, but the other big one is American Tail. Because you talk about a movie that doesn't pull its punches. American Tail is that movie. Like if you watch it again, man, that movie gets depressing.
uh-huh.
I mean, just think about the ending when Fievel reunites with his family. They're basically bouncing around each other for like a solid 2 minutes, like just missing each other before they like embrace, and it is just this dream-like, ethereal feeling of the movie. It's, uh, it, but just as the movies will make you feel sad, they'll also make you feel hopeful. Like I mentioned it with like the actually not supposed to feel hopeful. There's very wonderful messages and very like adult and mature lessons hiding in all these movies. Um, Land Before Time might be a really great example of this because there's a scene after Littlefoot gets separated. He meets his really angry dinosaur, his really angry old codger, and
Oh yeah.
the old dinosaur like really just kind of realizes like, oh, this kid's legitimately alone. And he basically tells him this life lesson and goes through a few things. He's not being this hopeful, like, oh, everything's gonna be all right. He's saying some pretty forward things, but he's saying it in a way that a kid would understand. There is a lesson in what he is saying that it takes the movie to understand. Like, and that's a lot of Don Bluth's films. Is he is imparting this mature wisdom, these mature emotions through these children's films. And it's why his movies I think will stand the test of time. And it's there's I know there's a larger conversation here
Mm.
about like why like certain people would want kids to watch older movies as opposed to modern kids movies. They're like older kids movies, there's less restrictions, so they could get away with more and kids can handle more. Kids aren't stupid, they're just assholes.
It's true though.
Yeah.
We used to be kids. We know.
Yeah. Kids can handle a lot. Honestly, like I've told people this, like I have a list of movies that if I were to ever have a kid, as soon as they turn like 8 or like at the latest 10, and as soon as they're old enough to like really register these movies, I am going to show like every week we're gonna have like family movie nights, and I'm gonna show them an old kids movie, and like movies on this list includes, and you're gonna start to see a trend here. Land Before Time, Fox and the Hound, Never Ending Story. Do you see the trend yet?
You're a monster.
I'll pay for therapy later, kid. Like half of the all of the Don Bluth movies are on the list because like yeah no like we joke like oh like we're gonna make you cry like but no like I am glad that I watched these movies as a kid specifically for the lessons they imparted upon me.
It's like we're gonna break your heart a little and not pull our punches, but at the end of the day, we're still gonna give you hope and make you feel good.
Exactly.
And you need to give that to younger people,
Yeah,
just like George Lucas did with Empire Strikes Back.
yeah. It's like like you need, but most of his movies are like that, and some of his aren't. Some of his aren't. Like I said, my one of it's not my favorite, but when I think these you're talking about more is Rockadoodle. That's not a movie that imparts a super deep lesson. It at least not compared to other ones. It has its little charming moments, but that one I would put in the same vein as Troll in Central Park and the Rodney Dangerfield dog movie. They're not really for like giving the kids these super deep emotional mature lessons. They're just for kids entertainment because he's good at that too. He is like
Right. Sometimes you can just have a simple life story and come away with something good.
yeah,
A lesson I wish more people understood today.
yeah. Well, you know, I'm only now realizing there was one. Well, I'll talk about that at the closing thoughts. But to I guess I know there's not a lot to talk about with Don Bluth, and then talk about some of our favorite movies, and just much respect to him as an animator. But what is like for sure? I don't think you named it yet. What is your favorite Don Bluth movie?
Mm, my favorite, I'm trying to decide between Land Before Time or The Secret of Nim, because as much as I love dinosaurs, I really love The Secret of Nim.
Nerd. I
It's
mean, oh yeah, no secret in it.
and it's just such a well-made film.
Yeah.
Also, but I do have to laugh at the fact that all right, for those who don't know, The Secret of Nim is actually based off of a book called Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, when the movie was being made, they couldn't use the name Frisbee because obvious reasons, so they changed the name to Brisbee.
Yes. Hmm.
Just a little trivia for y'all. But I don't know if I even have time to go into what I love about this movie. The
No, no,
story, the
you have.
characters, the animation.
You
The
absolutely have time.
animation is breathtaking.
You got a little bit of time. Go off, man.
I mean, even if you've never seen a Don Bluth movie, all you have to do is just watch one and just look at the animation, and you'll know. You'll just know. The character designs range from quirky and unique to absolute nightmare fuel.
Hell,
There's
the old rat honestly kind of scares me a little bit. Like
I
the
mean, I can definitely see how that would happen, but it's the way they portray him. He ends up not being this scary character. He's actually a calm and wise leader.
yeah, no. How he scares me is entirely based off of his looks and just all the jerky movements he has. It's just kind of like uncomfortable as a kid. If I watched it now, I'm sure I would just see him as this wise old man and just or wise old rat. I know one that I wish I could say more about. I don't think Don Bluth did this though. Actually, did Don Bluth do it? I'm gonna confirm that real quick.
Well, like what's the movie?
The Five Goes West.
Oh no, he didn't do that one.
Okay, he didn't do Five
I
Goes West.
I still love Five Goes West, but no, I don't think he had really any involvement in that one.
No, Spielberg did. That's weird.
Ah, I think that's why I like it.
Yeah. Uh, oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, Spielberg did it, and he used the animators from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That tracks.
Ah, but even though that still has sort of a Don Bluth feel to it, don't it?
It does. It's kind of why I was like so confused. Like, is this a Don Bluth movie? Because now a lot of his movies, Land Before Time, the sequels have nothing to do with Don Bluth, and they kind of go in these weird direction. Land Before Time, but like Five O Goes West, it's not as good as American Tail, but it's still fun in his own right. Eh, let's see if Don Bluth is anywhere, even like a producer credit, because like you are right. It never goes so far as to have like these such gut wrenching moments, but it also doesn't never goes too silly. From what I remember, I'd have to watch it again. That's not one I watched in preparation for this. It's like I watched American Tail and I watched Land Before Time, but yeah,
The only reason I didn't watch both of those for this is because they're so ingrained into my mind already.
yeah. I wanted to get like a fresh memory on just like how, like, because I wanted to touch on the lessons that Don Bluth likes to impart through his movies, and I know those are his biggest ones, so I wanted to rewatch that. If I watch Rockadoodle, I'm not going to get any deep messaging from that. I'm going to watch Rockadoodle again just to enjoy it. So I figured it's worth talking about, but I'm probably just going to enjoy it on my own time personally. It's I don't know, but no, it's looking through his filmography. Like, yeah, he loves Secret of Nim. I love Land Before Time. See, as of right now, Land Before Time and American Tail. I know it's the basic bitch answer, considering they are like his two most popular films, but those are my favorites. It's been so long since I've seen Secret of Nim, I can't properly rank it, but right now, Rockadoodle's a third for me. It's dumb, but it's fun dumb. Those are my top threes.
It's been too long since I've actually watched Anastasia, honestly.
Isn't that the
I don't
movie
remember
that
hating
has
it.
in the movie that has like that theme song "In the dark of the night, terror will find you" or something like that?
Yep, that was Rasputin
Yeah, with Christopher
with
Lloyd.
yeah, Christopher Lloyd may have voiced him, but it was Jim Cummins who did the singing voice for him.
Which man, that's someone I'm gonna have to do an episode on just Jim Cummings because he has this talent to sound like any other actor, freaking chameleon,
Oh, and Animal.
an animal. No, before I get too distracted, I think that's a good place to end off of just
Or
his
am I thinking of Frank Welker?
Probably. He's another very prolific voice actor.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good time to go to our and here. And before I get to the wheel, there is actually two pieces of news that I didn't address. That I was looking at just confirming some things that I completely I touched on one slightly, but and that's the new Spider-Man movie being called Brand New Day, which they are pulling away from the home theming. That could mean a number of things. But the other one, I know it applies to you, and I'm sorry for not bringing it up. Live action Legend of Zelda,
Yeah.
featuring the minions. I
Don't you joke about that.
What if you just see a teaser where it shows a minion with Link's hat just going illumination while it holds up the Master Sword?
I am going to burn down Illumination Studios.
Oh, well, I guess I should have brought it up when we talked about things, but there's not a whole lot to say with the Legend of Zelda movie other than we have confirmation it's happening. I want to talk more about it later. Later.
And then Illumination isn't doing it.
Illumination isn't doing it. This is going to be a live action affair. But I want to talk more about it when we have another big info dump or probably a teaser about it because that's one that all fans are having an eye on. But
Right.
I also don't want to say anything more than that because that's going to lead to a conversation about games, and there is a whole lot of gaming news recently that relates to other news, and that's just a downward spiral I don't want to get into. This is a movie podcast. But with that,
Yeah.
with that, it's time to go to the wheel.
The wheel.
Oh, wait a minute. Themes. Oh, why did it suddenly get all size different? Oh well, but yeah, Wheel of Themes this
Okay.
time. I had something on here that'll make you a little happy, Mr. Griffin. So we have our old ones. I have Guilty Pleasures, Adam Sandler
Mm,
comedies, classic
uh-huh.
Universal movies, hand drawn Disney films, or classic Universal monsters, I should say, hand drawn Disney films based on a true story, Jurassic Park movies, and because you're our guest tonight, I added Ernest. And if it lands on the guest decide somehow for the fourth time, you get to decide which of those seven is going to be the next topic. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let's roll.
You're going to have to tell me what it lands on because I don't see it.
Oh, it's like right in the middle. By a hair, it landed on Guilty Pleasures.
Nice.
By a hair. Like if you look at the wheel, like if you watch when it was spanned, like it was like a pixel away from Jurassic Park.
Mm.
But it landed on Guilty Pleasures. So next time, Guilty Pleasures. And I'm kind of glad I didn't do Jurassic Park because I'm hoping it'll land on that closer to like June or maybe after.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not gonna. You can tell if you're looking at like where the arrow is basically on the line.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see it now.
by a pixel. I'm telling you.
Sorry about that.
How dare. Well, thank you for joining me today, Mr. Griffin.
You're very welcome. And I've just noticed I've now tied for appearances on this podcast along with Chakaron and Butcherson.
Yes.
Who will be the one to break the tie?
Joke's on y'all, it's going to be Lee. Yeah, thank you for joining me this fine day. And I guess, anything you want to say before we close out?
Nothing that immediately comes to mind.
All right.
Watch more Don Bluth movies.
Watch more Don Bluth movies. Go see Death of a Unicorn. And
And
yeah,
I know you said this wasn't a video game thing, but at the moment he is currently working on a Dragon's Lair movie.
yeah, yeah. Video game movies are one thing because it's still a movie. But oh, excuse me. That's going to be an interesting one to look into as we get more news about it. But yeah, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Gryphon, thank you again for stopping in. And we'll see
No problem.
y'all.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
Sayonara.